Hi, I'm Tina Zerbian. I'm the CEO at the world's best organization, Cattaraugus Community Action. We are the anti-poverty organization serving Cattaraugus and lots of other counties in Western New York. And at this time of pandemic, in our community, we're taking a lead to provide essential services to the people who are most vulnerable in our community. We really believe that when people are already at risk with housing and nutrition and mental health, that it makes them even more vulnerable at a time like this. So we're doing our best to get out and provide services that will assist people in staying home safely, keep them well fed, make sure that they have a roof over their heads, make sure that the services that they would normally get from our programs are continuing, even if that's in some sort of new approach. We received some funding through a coalition of foundations in Western New York. And we have also received funding from our local Cattaraugus Region Community Foundation, as well as some additional funds from OSHI. And with those foundation funds, we've been very creative in extending our services to people who are in need right now. One of the ways that we've done that is to begin a delivery service for food, essential supplies, as well as some activities for families that are, on pause orders and staying home together. So we're working in partnership with some great community partners, one of whom is Nick Patillo, who owns Villaggio and Osteria 166. He started a fantastic new enterprise called Stock the Freezer. And not only is he providing food to people who are paying for that food, but he's also accepting donations. And the donations that come in to Stock the Freezer in Cattaraugus County are coming to us so that we can redistribute that food to people who are in need. So Stock the Freezer is making frozen prepared meals. We're accepting those meals, and with foundation funds, we're also purchasing meals in addition to the donated meals.
How you doing? My name is Nick Patillo. I am the owner of Villaggio in Ellicottville, Osteria 166 in Buffalo, Occasions Catering throughout Western New York, as well as StockTheFreezer.com, which is our newest venture, which is why we're here today to talk about being able to get meals out in the community. We had first lost our occupancies to half, and then the governor sent out his notice that we were going to be closing on it was a Monday at 8 o'clock that night. So Ellicottville closed that Sunday night. That was Mardi Gras weekend, so we kind of had an end to the holiday weekend pretty abruptly there. And then Monday, we were now in Buffalo to close that restaurant as well. The curbside model really wasn't going to work for us because of the locations of our operations, and about 55-60 people got laid off that day. And then we set to kind of thinking about what we could do to make this work out and figure out some way to get some people back to work and to be working again. A friend of mine called me and came up with an idea. He said, you should take a look at meal prep. And I didn't know what meal prep was until I looked into it a little bit, and we kind of started processing the information and thinking about comfort food meal prep. A short time thereafter, my buddy said, hey, I've got an idea. I just bought StockTheFreezer.com. And the idea was really born from that, and we started kind of running with that, and within 48 hours we had a website put up. And we had put a tag on there for people to be allowed to donate meals to their community as well. And the way that works is we provide the meals at a discounted price, which allows us the opportunity to get people back to work. And then we get those meals out into the community. And that's really where all this started. So being an Ellicottville native and grew up here, been gone for years, but moved back several years ago when I opened Villaggio, started reaching out around the Ellicottville area. Called my friend Greg Capelli over at the Rotary Club, and he said, you should call Tina Zerbian. And when I found out Tina ran Community Action, Cattaraugus Community Action, I was very excited about it. So reached out to Tina, had no idea what they did at that point, and said, look, we're doing this thing. We want to get some meals out into Cattaraugus County as well. We don't know how to get them to Ellicottville and how to get them to Olean and how to get them to all these different soup kitchens and whatnot in Cattaraugus County. And Cattaraugus Community Action said, well, that's exactly what we do. So it was pretty awesome. And Tina and I started working together right away through Greg's direction and got us set up, making sure the Elkiville pantry was taken care of, making sure that the community, Cattaraugus Community Action in Salamanca had food. Her man John Haley's been amazing doing pickups. We've got Franco Brady and the entire team at Holiday Valley letting us use freezer space so we can make sure that everything's nice and frozen and safe before we distribute it to them. Tina then got a grant after we had sent, I want to say 600 or 900 meals down to Tina and her group at CCA. They started getting grant money as well, so they started purchasing, as of last week, started purchasing meals at a discounted rate, and then we also supplement them with additional meals. I want to say we're at 300 meals a week currently with CCA, so we're providing in addition to that, which is really cool and making sure that they get into the right hands.
We've received the Western New York COVID response funding, and it has helped out tremendously. We've been able to purchase diapers, which we've had trouble in the past receiving. We've been able to purchase milk, fresh produce, other dairy such as cheese, yogurt to feed families that are in need. And we have seen an increase in the families in need, a lot of new faces coming to use the pantry. Right now we're doing it out of our dock. It's a drive-in basis with as low contact as possible. But we have seen a big increase in those numbers.
We also entered into a partnership with Good Times of Olean, and they're doing something very similar. We are purchasing frozen prepared meals from them, and they're about to start an initiative where they can begin to do donations for folks as well. So that's very exciting. We were also using foundation funds to hire a driver, an unemployed Uber driver. So we're making sure that she has some income too. And she is helping us get food out to people who are disabled, unable to come to our pantry, whatever the case may be. So we're delivering to doorsteps.
Hi folks, Wes Long here from Good Times of Olean. Glad to be here today to bring you some information and participate in this production video. I want to say special thanks to all the people that are putting it together, all the people that are helping with the Community Action Program, and all the employees here at Good Times that, although there's only a few left, are working diligently and very hard to make sure we can provide meals for the public and for people in the programs. Being selected to provide meals for the Cattaraugus Community Action Program has allowed us at Good Times to maintain employment for many of our people. It's helping us keep our machinery working and us active, and it's a great self-satisfaction to help people in the community in programs like this in times of need. This program's having a tremendous effect on members of the community. People like members of Good Times, employment staff, it allows us to stay active and participate and stay working, while people in the community that are volunteering to deliver, or maybe they're in some way associated with delivering food products to us and other vendors. So it helps there tremendously, but the most wonderful impact is helping people that maybe have lost their jobs, or maybe some of our elderly that are at high risk with the COVID-19 threat. It helps put food in their possession. Keeps them healthy, and the interaction of all the deliveries and the orders, and it helps people mentally stay sharp. And even though it's 6 or 10 foot away, it allows us to communicate with each other and be a part of something. And I think that's got a tremendously huge impact and a great value to the community. The new partnership between Good Times of Olean and Cattaraugus Community Action Program is tremendous. The conversation today is about providing meals through this funding that the action received, and its value is tremendous. But in addition to that, there's been an opportunity where we have surplus product, or product that may be short on a date, that we're able to call Mr. Studley and Mr. Haley and other members of the organization and say, hey, I've got some cottage cheese, I've got some milk, and they can place it anywhere in the county, in so many different places, where people can utilize it, the nutrition values are there, and it supports people that may be on hard times. So the relationship is beyond this grant that they received to feed people. It's even bigger than that. I'm very proud of you.
We are also making sure that people who would normally connect with us in person for case management services, for victim services, youth and family prevention services, kids in schools, are able to connect with us remotely in some alternative ways. So we're helping families with the purchase of phones, with the purchase of additional data so that they can actually maintain communication with us, and with the staff that are working from home. We're trying to support staff in a lot of ways that may include, if we're funded, some support for their own internet costs as well. We're also getting licenses for programs like Zoom and GoToMeeting and things like Rate Signatures so that clients can still work with us remotely through some of those platforms, sign their documents remotely through some of those platforms. So we're just trying to be very creative in the way that we can stay connected with people who need us most right now.
Having an opportunity to speak in the video is wonderful. And if I might add at the very end, I would just want to say to everybody that might watch it is, do your part, anything you can. It may be that you can make food, it may be that you can deliver food, it may be that you can donate $5 or $10 to help. It may be that you just call somebody or send a text message or send an email and see if you can find somebody that's in need, that maybe as Americans we're too prideful to ask, and then find the appropriate people to get in connection with those families and those people. And just maybe if they don't need anything or they don't want anything, just let them know you're there. Let them know that sooner, hopefully than later, this will be resided and we'll be back to normal. And in the meantime, while it's not, we can all be there for each other. That's a great message we should be sending, and we'll all do our part.